How's it going, guys? Interact here. We're back with more Katawa Shoujo. I kind of lost track of what I was doing because I was kind of reading anime, so I kind of got lost on what I was doing. And this follow chair is it's hard to get used to, but oh well. So I'm gonna load up the recent save, so we should continue it. Okay. Suddenly, a tall, dark stranger appears out of nowhere, standing imposingly in front of us. Emmy flinches back, almost falling back down the stairs. That is a bad... No. Hello. Yipes, you scared me, Rin. Wait, isn't she... Hello. Noticing that Rin is speaking to me, Emmy looks curiously at me. You two know each other? I look confusedly at Emmy. She's that friend of yours? Rin has turned her gaze towards the clouds drifting above the school. I didn't know you knew this person, Emmy. The awkward silence lasts only for a few seconds until Emmy lets out a tiny giggle, shrugging the coincidence off. I invited Hisao for lunch. If you know him, that's just better. Oh, does this mean I don't get food? Or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch? Neither. I have food for 3. Nice thinking. I don't hear any music anymore. I'm just hearing because of these headphones. I don't know what's going on with these. They walk to the other end of the roof while I stay at the clock tower for a while, taking in the atmosphere. There's nobody else but us here. I guess the roof is not as popular as it is in other schools. A few rundown benches and tables are scattered around the edges. Perhaps in an attempt, I just kicked my PS2 to make the rooftop look less desolate. The small pebbles covering the roof rattle beneath our feet. I peeked through the chain link fence to take a look at the school grounds and beyond. Students are strolling in pairs and groups around the quadrangle and at the cafeteria. A few delivery trucks are driving past the school towards the convenience store nearby, the freaking cheap 7-Eleven look-alike. Somewhere, a watchdog barks at a passerby. Somehow, when I look towards the town center, the small town feel strikes me very strongly, almost palpably. The hectic lifestyle of big metropolises seems so far away and foreign here. Nobody has to run to catch a bus like their life depended on it, or get their senses overloaded by the neon lights and traffic jams. Neon lights? I'm basically a walking club. No, I'm just kidding. I feel surprisingly optimistic about this new life of mine. Looking at my new hometown, even if it's going to be mine, for only one short year. Finding out about my illness and having to move away from home all came so suddenly, I haven't had time to think how I feel about it. When I step out of the shadow of the clock tower to the open, I feel warmth touching my back. Oh, I don't like that feeling. The sun shines from a perfectly clear, serene sky. A cool breeze sweeping over the rooftop makes me shiver, but only briefly. The wind carries the scent of trees and flowers, not smog and car exhaust like it used to just a few weeks ago. Emmy settles on the bench with Rin in tow and produces 1 big and 2 small lunch boxes from her bag. Come on, Hisao, what are you waiting for? I'm waiting for... I don't know. She's beckoning me to... I just hit my chair. To join them, making room on the already small bench. This just... Okay, I don't want to say it, but you know, I'm going to say it somehow. I see myself on the corner of the bench to take as little space as possible. It's pretty cramped, but somehow all 3 of us fit on it. Yeah, because one has no arms, one has no legs, and then you have the full package. Not that type of package. Impressive view. Emmy surprises a giggle. Oh my god. Suppresses a giggle and places a lunchbox in front of Rin and hands another lunchbox to me. My god, how many lunchboxes do you have? Here you go, lunch as promised. Winky face. Homemade, no less, I'm impressed. Wow, this looks really good. Thanks, I make it myself when I can. No, you don't. Conversation dies off as I said about the business of feeding myself. Taking a few bites, I glance up and notice Rin deftly opening the lunchbox and popping a a fork full of food into her mouth using only her feet. I still want to try doing that. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed at her dexterity. It's also a reminder of the sort of place I am in right now. Will I ever get used to sights such as this? I can't decide if getting used to such a thing would be a good thing or a bad thing either. Does getting used to this place mean that I'm giving up on being a normal person? Or does it just seem that I'm becoming more understanding about those around me? I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sight of Emmy tearing into her lunch as if it had insulted her ancestors. No, not my ancestors! You made fun of my ancestors! I shall eat you! You seem pretty hungry. Emmy looks up, half full, and swallows before nodding. My morning run always works up an appetite, which is great because then I burn through lunch pretty quickly. Helps me keep my girlish figure. And what would happen if you lose it? Would you become a man? I very nearly choke on my lunch trying not to laugh. Well, it is just a kick in the head. It's a figure of speech. Does your figure have to run in the mornings too? Do you always talk like this? Do you always have to talk like what? Like what? I think that answers my question. Never mind. So, I struggle to think of small talk and settle on the obvious question. How'd you two meet? Rin seems content to let Emmy answer this question. Someone in the housing department thought that we complement each other well, so we were assigned rooms next to one another. Complement each other? Oh, like shoes and a suit. Huh? So basically, she is the suit and she is the she is the suit and she's the shoes, I'm guessing. Emmy giggles at my confusion. Put us together and we've got all our limbs, get it? Ah. Oh, yeah. So I started helping Ren get ready in the mornings and that was that. I mean, you can't help someone get dressed every morning and not get along. I see. Unless if you are a dog, because dogs, if you try to put clothing on them, be like, no, I don't want it, and then they go crazy, and then after you take off the clothing and you just leave it out there. Trust me, my sisters buy 5 clothes already, 5 shirts for the dog, and one they lost, another one she started attacking for no reason, and since it's summer, so she's not wearing any clothing, so that kind of sounds kind of weird, but yeah, Rin chooses this moment to interject. I have trouble with shirts. Right, that seems fairly obvious. Really? Kind of. This isn't helping, but at least Emmy seems to find the whole thing funny. 20 questions with Rin, starting now. That combined with the fact that Rin is genuinely curious makes me feel slightly better and yet confused. I mean, we got no arms, so putting a shirt on seems like one of those things that would be difficult. You know what? I'm going to just stop talking now, and it'll save me a lot of trouble in the long run. And I have too many cords under my table. Rin nods in what I suspect is meant to be a sage manner. I see. The conversation dies as I turn my attention back to my lunch. It's really quite good. Emmy finishes her lunch first and makes a contented noise. Ah, that was good. Well, thank you for rubbing it in, Miss I Could Eat Things Fast. As she busies herself with cleaning up her lunch, Rich speaks up. I'm thirsty. Oh, I almost forgot about that, sorry. With a flourish, she reaches into her bag and removes a trio of juice boxes. She tosses me one that appears to be cranberry juice. Cranberry? Friggin' helps you poop out more. Wait, no, I thought that was never mind, screw it. It was plums. One Turin that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with pink color scheme, and keeps an equally pink box of some kind of fruit punch for herself. Rin dexterously stabs her straw through the top of her box and begins to drink. I'm once again being impressed by how flexible she is, but this time I keep my comment to myself. Somehow I don't think either Emmy or Rin are the sorts of people to think twice about the way they work around their particular disabilities. Rin especially so. Indeed, she gives off the impression of being entirely unaware that she's missing any limbs at all. Whether or not that's a conscious decision is another matter. I'm honestly not sure. So Hisao, how do you like it up here? It's quite nice actually. I like high places for the view. Thanks for inviting me up here. And for the lunch too. Emmy grins a 1,000-watt grin, pleased by my response, and I guess she got shocked by lightning. No problem. Feel free to eat with us next time too, okay? I won't make you a lunch, but you can bring your own up here. No lunch service? I don't know. Emmy looks mock offended. Trying to take advantage of my good nature? Well, you did crash into me for the nerve of some people, she giggles. Well, if that's your answer, I guess Rin and I will just keep eating lunch all alone. I am suddenly assaulted by the most heart-rending puppy dog eyes I've ever seen as Emmy pouts, and I just smacked my mic. Kidding, I was kidding. I love to eat lunch up here again. Good location and the company's okay too. Okay. Emmy frowns a bit at my declaration of okay, but seems happy enough that I've accepted her invitation. I guess it makes us friends now. Or at least acquaintances. The lunch bell rings, signaling a return downstairs. Rin, you didn't finish your lunch again. I wasn't that hungry. If you don't eat more, you're going to fade away. Rin shrugs as if this is an acceptable risk. Come on, we better get going. The three of us head down the stairs together. Oh yeah, I remember that stupid, pointless, we head down the stairs together. Cutscene, no, transition. The afternoon class passes. Once again, I found myself without a plan for something to do after school. So I head to the library to return a couple of books I finished reading. Walking inside, I see that there are about as many students here as there were on Tuesday. All the more evident from the almost total silence enveloping the room. As I drop the books I borrowed into the return slot in the counter, Yugo suddenly pops up from behind it, quite startled from the banging they make as they hit the trolley next to her. Trolley! Yeah! You know, I always wanted to ride in a trolley. I don't know why. I don't know. It's like they just sound fun. Again, you can just go under and somebody roll you and then just let go and be like, oh snap, I'm gonna get myself killed. And then the trolley rolls over and stuff and you're like, oh, this is a bad idea. Sorry Yugo. I didn't mean to startle you. No, that's fine. It happens a lot. I'm used to it by now. Can I help you? It's okay. I think I know where everything is. Thanks anyway. I suppose I'll grab another book or two while I'm here. There's not much else to do, and after reading so much during my stay in the hospital, it's become a hard habit to break. I wandered down to the fiction sections towards the back of the library, scanning the bookshelves of anything that catches my eye. By that, you mean Hanako. Yes. As I do, I look over to the corner where Hanako had been the last time I was here, not really expecting anything to come of it. Told you. Surprisingly though, she's there, absorbed completely in a fairly thick book. I decide against intruding on her like last time, and get back to finding reading material. Congratulations. I think that was a win. I don't know. After an indiscriminable amount of time spent pursuing the aisles, I finally decide on a couple of books to get and slide them off the shelf. With a minimal fuss, I quickly walk over to the counter, check out my books, and pop them into my bag as I walk out. Don't be a Kenyan and steal them. By the time I leave the main building, sunset isn't too far away. A small trickle of students remain, but the majority have left, presumably to their homes and dorms. I guess I need to buy some supplies. I can't live off cafeteria food and eating out for my entire stay here, because you're gonna be like Americans and be like fat. No, I'm just kidding. And oh great, we're back at the stupid gate. As I leave for the gate, I make a few loud stretches to try and stave off the tiredness that's accumulated over the week. After passing through and rounding the corner though, I see a solitary figure walking downhill towards the small town below. The color of her hair and tattoo of her cane are unmistakable. I quickly walk up to her, which seems to catch her attention without a word needing to be said. Hi Lily. She takes a moment to place the voice, slightly adjusting her head to face a bit more towards the source of my voice as she does. Hisao? Yep, that's me. Yep, that's my name. Oh, okay, never mind, screw it, no. She seems to have a good memory for voices. The fact that she actually remembered is a pleasant surprise. Good evening, what brings you here? Once again, she gives a small polite bow, and once again, I reply in kind before realizing that I needn't do so. I get interrupted. Alright, just going into town, you? My, what a coincidence. You just like saying my a lot. You're like, freaking, if I had the webcam on right now, again, I would just be like this, like sitting and like spin the chair like my, and every time that shows up, I'm actually going to start doing that now. It seems like it's more of a necessity because I always manage to hear in every like anime or cartoon I watch, like when I was younger, it always like the person's like my, like making spinning in a swivel chair like this. Holy crap! Doing the same thing, eh? Okay, now you're just trying to make fun of her accent. I usually go shopping on Fridays. She pauses for a moment, suddenly looking a little lost. That said, Hanako usually comes into town with me. I'm not lost, but worried. Oh great, there's that wood again! The two of you seem to keep pretty close tabs on one another. It's kinda surprising that Hanako would just forget Lily like that. I noticed her reading in the library. She probably just got caught up in a book. She lets out a small sigh of relief. Thank you. She has a habit of doing that. A vid reader? Right. She doesn't like being around crowds of people, so reading away from everyone lets her relax a bit. Although she probably didn't intend it, I can't help but grimace as I recall my first meeting with her. Hardly wanting to bring it up, I remained silent as we finally continued to walk down the quiet road. Tack, 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 tack. But the road bereft of cars and the students of Yamaku increasingly far behind us. The quiet rustling of the leaves and the measured tapping of Lily's cane against the sidewalk are all that can be heard. It's kind of nice, especially compared to the hustle and bustle of where I used to live. Before I know it, I've relaxed so much that a loud yawn escapes before I can control it. Tired? Yeah, I've been running ragged these past few days. That's an understatement to be sure. Transferring to a different school would be bad enough, but nothing like this. Well, hopefully everything should settle down for you. The festival's got everyone in a spin right now, and we've been plopped right in the middle of things. For a moment I hesitate, but given her apparent tolerance of frankness, I decided to give my full thoughts. I guess Yamaku is kind of different though. I mean, the formalities surrounding everything, the isolation around it. Not to mention the most obvious difference. It's kind of a whole different mindset, I suppose. I'll get used to it though in time. She gives a matter-of-fact nod, apparently pleased with my answer. It feels almost as if she's included me in the flock of students she's shepherding, along with Class 3-2 and Hanako. Well, not that I mind, it's nice to get that thoughts off my chest in any case. Looking on the bright side, one could see it as a chance for a new beginning. You should cherish their ability to make new friends. Well, aren't you my friend? Well, no, everybody's acquaintance with me, never mind. That's optimistic. Nonetheless, it's good to have a positive attitude about such things, I suppose. I guess that's a good take on it. Yes, make new friends. Oh no, I remember this. I remember this sign. Look at this sign. It's like, wait, shouldn't that be white, not blue? Walking on down the road, she seems to become somewhat unsettled. Before I can ask what's on her mind, she seems to collect herself and speaks up about something else. So, where in town are you going? This is actually a pretty good question. I'd come in to buy food, but the layout of the place is totally foreign to me. I had intended to just wander around and see what I could find, but with sunset already approaching and nightfall not too far away, that doesn't seem very wise, because some guy's gonna take you in the dark alley, stab you, and be like, hey, give me your money, and then he runs away. Yes, that happens. I'm going to have to ask her for directions again. I just hit my desk again. I was just going to get some food, but now that you mention it, I don't really know the way. Well, now this is quite lucky. I was just about to go to the convenience store myself. Looks like I'll be in your care again then. Thanks. Together we walk to the store. My pace is carefully slowed to remain beside her. Compared to my usual walking pace, hers is a quite bit slower. Not that it's without reason. Yeah. Chomp. After that, what couldn't be more than several minutes, I catch sight of our objective. This town really is pretty small. Without further ado, we make our way inside with a greeting from the counter. Hey look! Easy baked noodles! Yes! Mind if I tag along with you? Usually Hanukkah would help me, but seeing as she's not here, it takes a moment before I realize what she means. Considering she wouldn't be able to read any of the labels, shopping without any help would be a big pain for her. That said, I can't shake the feeling that she'd had this idea since I said I was coming here. Sure, it'd be my pleasure. I grabbed 2 well-used red baskets from the small stack beside the entrance, handing one to Lily. She lays it on the ground, putting her school bag in, retracting her cane and sliding it through the basket's handles before picking it back up in her right hand. Wait, if she doesn't use her cane... Before I can complete the thought, she comes beside me and pinches the cuff of my uniform in her slender fingers. Is this alright? Sure. I have no reason not to accept. I can think of worse things than shopping with a pretty girl holding on to me, even if it is out of necessity. We navigate our way through the store with not one of the occasional passing customers seeming to bat an eyelid. Well, isn't he just a pain in the butt? Considering how close Yamaku is, I guess seeing students from there must be entirely normal for local residents. As we reach each aisle, I quickly check with Lily and find out what she needs. I grab it along with what I'm looking for and put our items into their respective baskets. I guess this is the same routine she and Hanukkah follow every Friday. Right, all that's left is the bread, and that should be my shopping done. Do you need anything else, Lily? Well, technically, you shouldn't be shopping on a Friday, because on Fridays, freaking stores are all packed with stuff like that, with freaking customers and everything. And what I learned at Bank of America, yes, I actually went to Bank of America, and I sat there for about 30 minutes, and I was reading it was giving me advice saying the best way to get good deals in a grocery store or something like this, it's on a Wednesday. Why a Wednesday? I don't know. No, this should be everything. Off we go then. What, you can get a dragon and just ride on it, like, off we go! Okay, that was pretty stupid actually. With a quick side trip to the bakery section, we make our way to the registers. The line, thankfully, is almost non-existent. It's not long before we both paid for our food and are out of the door. My god, look at this. Look, what is that? What is this? What is this? Okay. As Lily retrieves her cane and extends it to full length, I wasted a minute looking upwards at the night sky while holding both our bags. For a moment I try to make clouds with my breath, but the summer heat doesn't seem to cooperate. Eventually she rights herself, taking a quick stretch before taking her bag and leaving me to my two. You tired as well? The festival preparations have been complete chaos. Shizune breathing down my neck doesn't exactly help things either. Hey, she's only trying to get everything organized. Better now than later, right? I suppose I'm going to enjoy relaxing in town tomorrow, that's for certain. I guess the festival preparations must be taking their toll on both of them. We walk out into the quiet street, talking between ourselves as we carry our bags of food and supplies from the store. Wait, what's that? I noticed a very distinctive figure making its way towards us, silhouetted by the street lamps. For a second, I think it's another male student from my class, but as he, or should I say she, gets closer, I recognize her quickly. The Dark Knight. Rin? What are you doing out here so late? Rin? Lily perks her head up, looking like she's trying to focus on listening more keenly. It suddenly comes to me that I should probably interpret the scene for her. It's Rin. Suzuka. I think it was her last name from our school. Okay, okay, never mind. She sniffs at the name and gives a complicated, really? Looking expression, something like a forced fusion of a composed smile and a painful cringe. Ah, I understand. I guess Lily knows Rin too. Rin turns to look at us, looking terribly out of it. I'm not entirely sure if she recognizes either of us, or at least she doesn't acknowledge if she does. She looks like a zombie, or a statue of a zombie. I don't know where I'm burping from, but slowly, some symptoms of understanding seem to light in her dark eyes. This is something she must react to. Rin blinks once, very thoroughly. Hello. Okay, we're back with the hello again. There's an awkward pause, everyone waiting for someone else to say something. What are you doing here this late? I was wondering about that myself too just now. Some people ask. Let's play 20 questions now. Some people asked that just before. I assumed they were wondering the same. I didn't know. They didn't know either. I asked. That's why I'm wondering. So that was pretty much it. It's a murder mystery without a murder. They are going that way. Oh, they were. Oh, she turns facing to her right in order to demonstrate the direction the other people went to, as if that was important. Then rotates back like a mechanical puppet in one of those overly complicated clockworks. For a person who gives an impression of being quiet, being the quiet type, Rin usually does not have. Rin usually really does use a lot of words to say things that don't need a lot to be said. She makes everything complicated. She kind of reminds me when a teacher asks me questions, I make the question much more complicated, and the teacher gets mad at me because it happened before in English. I don't know why I was doing that. It was just a natural instinct. Unsure if she's finished, I say nothing. Neither does Lily, who seems equally robbed of words for the time being. She looks pretty amused right now. I think that both of us are, in fact, just scared that any response might provoke her to continue. I was stupefied. Stupefied lack of a reaction doesn't faze Rin at all. What is she gonna do, quickscope? She keeps looking at us expectantly, a calm hint of expression on her blank face. She seems to be that kind of person, always so relaxed. As if blue elephant, if bull elephant grade sedatives were flowing in her veins in the place of blood. Do you have amnesia? I don't recall you having anything of the sort, though. No, I don't think that's it. That. The other passerby were probably just worried, though. You do look really lost, the way you're standing in the middle of the street. It's creepy. Oh, I see. Maybe I should have taken some other kind of pose in that case. I will ponder for a while whether I should chase this angle further or give up for the sake of my own insanity. I decide on the latter. It seems that most of the time it's better not to read too deeply into what Rin is babbling about. Talking with Rin is like playing chess. Ha, chess. With a supercomputer who does seemingly completely random moves as if to mock everything you know about chess. It's like that except the human interaction. And even if I win, it feels like losing. Damn, it's just like Kenji said. Even if I win, I lose. Is this the power of the girls of Yamaku? Feminist. I push the thought aside as too dangerous to consider further. It's probably just Kenji's anti-female propaganda getting to me during a moment of weakness. Yeah, maybe taking another pose might have worked. So anyway, you have no idea what you're doing, right? Oh, doing here. She frowns, looking extremely displeased at either my question, its consequences, or the answer she's about to give. I do have some idea. I can't really tell what kind of an idea. Well, that sounds like progress, at least. Lily sounds as if she spotted an opening for some kind of discernibly normal conversation. I can't say I share her optimism. Yes, there is some, definitely. The rest will come later. I'm sure of it. I always have reasons. The ensuing silence kills Lily's hopes all too visibly that didn't last long. Rin's, as far as I can tell, unbased assurances aside, what should be done? We could just leave her to her own devices, whatever those are, but it's not late, and I don't think we'll be getting any things if Rin is found standing here in the middle of the night. And hopefully she does not get hit by a car or taken to a dark alley and stabbed to death by some random guy and runs away. Which she probably will, unless she manages to remember what she was doing here in the first place. As for me trying to guess what might have been going on in her mind when she decided to embark on this adventure, the chances seem to be on par with winning the lottery several times in a row. Lily is oddly quiet too. I'd appreciate some sort of the sidelines here, especially if she's more familiar with Rin than I am. But it can't be helped. It seems more familiarity. Okay, I can't even say it right after I said it before, but when it's exactly why she's staying subdued. So I assume you were going somewhere. Not going back to the school, any idea where? Her eyes widen in shock and she jolts back in somewhat artificial way. making it seem like an act rehearsed for a situation like this. Are you a mind reader? Is that your disability? How unique! No, what? Why would you think that? You knew what I was doing. It was just an educated guess. We walked the same street in the other direction just before to get to the store. Hey, that rhymed. If you were going to school, we would have met you on the way. Oh, she looks a little disappointed. Like Kenji, Rin appears quick to jump to completely irrational conclusions. Maybe it's something in the water here. I make a mental note to stock up on soft drinks. That's not healthy. You know, that is the second time this week that someone asked me if I was a mind reader. Do I really give off that impression? Rin shrugs her shoulders, which is all the answer I get. You know, maybe you should come with us back to the school. Lily interjects just as I'm about to further debunk my alleged mind-reading capabilities. She sounds rather concerned, the paper-thin smile on her face badly disguising that fact. Wow, that is completely paper-thin. Maybe she came to the same conclusion as I did. For everyone's sake, I just have to let the mind-reading topic drop as it's entirely inane anyway. Yeah, Lily's right. If you can't remember, there's no point staying here. Rin, considering this rather simple deduction for a moment, then nods. Okay. Oh my god, that was... My ear's like... It's dead. I'm gonna lower down the volume actually. Okay, cool. We start towards the school again, having wasted way more time than necessary with this episode. Ah, I see what you did there, because it's already 31 minutes. Rin walks along the edge of the sidewalk in her arrhythmic way, looking like a mix of sleepwalker and rope dancer, while Lily keeps one hand on my shoulder, tapping at the ground with her cane. Tap, step, step, tap, tap, step, step, step. What was the 3 steps? Someone has a third foot. Apart from that, and a few fragmented beginnings of conversation, it's quiet. Apart from the relaxing one into town at that. So, how's the mural going? We are going to get bad luck, never talk about works in progress. I'm sure it would be wonderful. Bad luck. Tap, step, tap, step. She doesn't care to talk about it. Lily's politeness feels out of place for the first time. Step, step, step. The hill Yamaku rests on top is surprisingly steep. Going uphill, the slow pace, but I still feel my pulse rising and breathing getting heavier. Almost there, I can see the gates already. More than that, though, I notice that Lily's hand slightly tightens on my shoulder, interpreting it as a gesture that she wants to ask something. I speak up. Anything wrong, Lily? I resist the urge to say, aside from our traveling companion, but only just. For a moment, she seems to debate whether she should even bring it up, but goes for it anyway. Is everything alright? Alright? How do you mean? The fact that I can interpret her incredibly vague question puts her off for a second. It's just, you seem unusually tired, I guess. Now that she brings it up, I notice that my breathing is strangely heavy. The uphill walk has really done a job on me. It tore you a new one. Lily noticed it all too quickly. Well. Wait, I'm pretty sure... Okay, I'm gonna go with this one. But since I already chose it, it's alright. I just need to catch my breath. My condition isn't the best these days. Oh. Is it something that is related to you being transferred here? I mean... She cuts herself off rather abruptly, maybe realizing she was being a bit intrusive. Her instincts are sharp though, and while I don't like the subject, it's not like I should lie about it. If it's Lily, I don't think I mind. I'm just a little weak for the time being. Hanako said you look fairly healthy, so I naturally thought. Lily doesn't finish her sentence again, letting it trail off with a measure of concern. As she furrows her brow, Lily's uncomfortable expression spurs me to say at least something to ease her feelings. It's surprising she's this flustered, considering her straightforward attitude with her own blindness. She must know that not all share her own comfort about such things. No, it's okay. I have a pretty... I guess the best way to put it would be messed up heart. Arrhythmia. I had a bad heart attack a while ago. Because of it, I spent most of the spring in the hospital. Ended in Yamaku on doctor's orders. Doctor's orders? That sounds perfect. She silently nods her head in acknowledgement. My answer though, only seems to make Lily furrow her brow even further. She doesn't seem to quite know how to react, given how we don't really know each other that well. I can't really fault her for it, given I had the exact same reaction. I find it weird she's just standing there still. To my surprise, in a moment's time her face shows that she comes to some sort of realization. Wait, so the time when me and you collided in the hallway? I grimaced slightly. Her ability to connect the dots quite so fast is unexpected. She is smart. Yeah, I guess I'm a textbook example of why those rules about running in the corridors exist. Wow, I can't even say corridors. That was a lot more dry than I intended. Lily visibly shies away from continuing the topic. While I do want to assert... Really? Really? This... Wait, a sewage? Oh god, I can't even say that. Oh, it's a sewage. Oh wait, her concern, I really don't want to dwell on this either. Don't worry about it. I try to offer a reassuring smile, but then I realize the futility. Without knowing this, Lily smiles at me reassuringly, but doesn't say anything further. Arriving at the dorms, Rin stops in front of me, in front of her mural as if lightning struck her. She had been so quiet for almost all of the walk back that I had all but forgotten she was here. The face. It's Friday, isn't it? Yes, Friday, the 8th of June. Well, that was like 20 days ago. Well, actually 29. This is bad. Bad? Why? I think I'm going to go in a fetal position and throw up. Possibly in reverse order. Reverse? Is that gonna... What? Is that gonna... I don't want to know what it means by reverse order. Because fetal position and then throw up, that's bad. Is something wrong? No, nothing is wrong. It's Friday and nothing is wrong yet. This mural is going to need to be finished by Sunday, so everything's alright. Do you have any drugs or a time machine? There you go again. This is not, oh whoops. This is not good, not good. So she's behind her schedule. Recalling Shizune's exasperation at Rin's carefree attitude several days ago, I don't know what to think. She has left herself open for a told you so, unless she can pull off whatever she needs to pull off by Sunday morning. Rin keeps staring at her mural, looking as mortified as she can. Leave me. I'm going to need to work for a while. Wow, I can't even say a simple sentence again. I glance at Lily, expecting her to share an incredulous look with me as I roll my eyes. But then I realize she's not wanting to do that kind of thing. She looks really unamused. Leave me. She looks really unamused. We do, of course, not wanting to aggravate her any more than she already is. There's a churning bad feeling in my gut. Rin sure has a knack of making people feel worried about her. She seems like a person who should never be left alone. Maybe we should call someone? She sounded like she was going into shock or something. I'm sure she will be just fine. She just, how to say... Lily cocks her head a little, trying to find a polite way of calling Rin crazy without calling her crazy. Unique? Yes, a very unique person. I guess you could say that. She giggles at the notion melodiously, nodding in agreement. Sorry about leaving you stranded as you talk to her. I don't really understand her, so I keep my distance. So my guess was right. Lily offers a slight apologetic smile as if she was sorry that her own shortcomings have prevented her from becoming closer to Rin. I'm not one to blame her at all. Lily lets it slip a long breath, probably a disguised yawn. I imagine oh my god, I can't even speak. She's as exhausted by all this as I am. I'd better leave now and give these to Hanako. Thank you for the company, Hisao. She smiles very sweetly at me. It feels different than normal, despite the fact that she seems to be smiling so often. I can't put my finger on what the difference is. It's just different. relaxed, I'd say. But that's probably just relief over getting rid of Rin, maybe. Yeah. Good night. Say hi to Hanukkah for me. I will. Good night. Fade into black. Loading screen. Well, that was quite interesting. I really like how I really enjoy this, so I really wanted to go back. Well, I didn't know how to really. I find it weird how I didn't know how to start off like each path, and I was thinking like maybe I should just repeat it all over again and do it from there and stuff like that. But if there's like certain decisions that I need to choose in order to get that certain path, I will go through the path again. For instance, Shizune, I never chose any of. I'm pretty sure I never chose anything that would agree to her or something like that. But I'm pretty sure like if I do the opposite that I did before, then most likely I will get to Shizune's path or maybe Rin's path, but who knows. But I'm gonna end off here. I'm sorry, it seems kind of short. Well, it's been like I really don't know, but this is really getting me tired because my throat's really dry now after reading so much. But I have to say though, I really actually enjoy reading this, and you know, I really much of experience, I guess. Not much like in real life, but like, you know, like those type of like games that give you experience, like, you know, it's not like about like all these these fancy like mechanics they do, or like these fancy like graphics they have. It's just like this game is this visual novel is much more simple, and you know, it is the first one I really played, I guess you could say. And you know, it's much more lenient on all the games I play. Like for instance, you know, I may not be a huge Call of Duty fan, but you know, I play Call of Duty from time to time. Well, whenever I'm in a Skype call with the others, since most of the time they complain about me playing Borderlands 2 a lot, so I play Black Ops 2. But you know, I'm really glad that I really chose to, you know, continue doing Katawa Shoujo after I finished Hanako's path in the beginning. And you know, I'm really glad that, you know, I'm actually, you know, I really like this. Actually my first type of game that I really wanted to, you know, get the other endings. You know, it actually motivated me to get the other endings, see how different they are, see if they're the same, or like if they have the same writing, like same type of writing style as like the last one, or you know, anything like that. And you know, it kind of builds up like I guess the tension, I guess, with me, since I'm not really affected by games a lot, but Hanako's path did really affect me quite a bit, since I rarely cry. So that was a huge shock to me, surprisingly. And enemies was okay, I guess. It just kind of reminded me about, like, you know, a lot of people go through a lot of stuff before, you know, you actually meet the person. So, you know, you can't really expect that much. But I kind of rambled on, even though I should have just read right now. But well, I'm really glad I'm actually going back to the story. This is actually a second playthrough, I guess. And with Act 1, since Act 1 is kind of the longest one you could actually play through before you could actually go through the certain paths. So I'm really glad I get to revisit this and, you know, kind of see if I kind of remember anything like that. But you know, I guess that should be it. I hope you guys enjoyed Katawa Shoujo, and I hope you guys have a great day. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, just finished. I had to do it. It was necessary. I really like moving around in this small space with this chair now, because it's much more fun and it makes funny noises. He carefully slides his sign onto an empty section of shelf to dry before quickly walking past us and out the door.